From the beautiful mind of Dominic James, introducing the Goon Squad!
Slight emergency meeting. It's a rough day for the Goon Squad, the cum cave dwellers, the splooge magoogers. Because the hub is getting banned. And by ban, what that really means is that the parent company, ILO, has decided to remove access to the website in another state, that state being Florida, based on new legislation that is going to be enacted on January 1st, 2025. Now, I say it's a rough day, but that's only for some, because to me, I feel like this is great news, and let me explain exactly why. Number one reason why this is great news: it's being banned on the premise of age verification, meaning that the top site for adult content won't be accessible to underage individuals, which could save them from 11 years of gooning instead of passing their classes and socializing with real life individuals. I'm not speaking from experience, but I might be. Number two reason, this is a relatively solid proof, at least to me, that while these sites are marketed and directed towards adults, they still prey on young individuals. It's no wonder that the decision to completely remove the site was their solution. They say it's for privacy concerns, but it seems more like a drop in revenue and page views overall that is causing the change. If you wanted more proof, once again, there's 12 prior instances in the United States of this same thing happening. If you want more proof, the stars of these videos go on live streams with audiences that are majority children and plug their links to their OF pages, aka I'm lonely and need fans to make me feel better about my sexual trauma by paying me. Which is just perpetuating a cycle of sexual trauma and people just oh, we gonna get into it. On top of that, do you realize how horny you have to be to upload your government ID to a website just to watch other people have sex and play with themselves? Like, bro, Twitter and Reddit are right there. Why are you uploading your full government name and ID number to sit in a chair and play with yourself? What are you, a cunt? I'm not speaking from 11 years of experience on the Goon Squad. I'm just saying. And number two, as someone who was unfortunately exposed to this kind of content very early, like as a real jit, the types of psychological and neurological damage that can be caused is rough. I literally think the first time I saw something like that, I was under the age of 8, but definitely single digits. And I'm not gonna lie, it changed me for the worst for a good period of time. Started searching up best video game boobs because of it. I got caught watching it on the Kindle, and my sister snitched on me at 10 p.m. on a school night, bro. Not even because she cared, it's because she wanted to use the Kindle. I got caught jerking off in college like at least twice. Like, come on, bro, lock in. The fact that this would be harder to do for younger people is nothing but good. Keep in mind, this is coming from the state that sells weed in Circle K, the state that had a guy eat another guy's face off. Shit, the site is banned in a state that sells shotguns in Walmart. When you're saying you're allowed to buy a shotgun, but not watch adult content, there's gotta be some reason for it. Not saying that 16 is the age to buy a shotgun. Now, for regular people who don't get addicted to anything that gives them pleasure chemicals, this sounds absurd because it kind of is. It's like, damn, bro, you can't stop death gripping your joystick or adding toppings to your taco. I don't know what parts you have.
Enough! I'm not addicted! I can quit my addictive vices anytime I want!
It's like, damn, bro, you can't stop death gripping your joystick for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Maybe you can't stop adding toppings to your taco for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Like, it does seem kind of absurd. However, when I was doing research on this topic years ago while trying to figure out why I couldn't stop playing with my pickle, gudgeoning my pencil, if you will, I stumbled across this book called Your Brain on Corn Syrup, and the type of dopamine and serotonin feel-good chemical release is very similar, if not identical, to cocaine. Because what is the biological imperative beside reproduction? Imagine being a person with no cares in the world or all the cares in the world. You got endless stress to deal with, distasteful situations, or you have no stress. You don't even got to worry about bills. You got light roof, food, everything you could ever think of, but you still have internet access.
Man, fuck this shit, I'm jerking off.
A hit of crack at the press of a button, bro. It's literally death by 1,000 self-inflicted paper cuts. Once upon a time, I played the intro in band class on the drums, and the whole class reacted, so I know it's not just me. Even during quarantine, the spike in usage was unbelievable because guess what? Caged monkeys jerk off. Like, if you've seen me when I was still smoking weed and doing that shit, Imagine every time you saw me smoke weed, I had jerked off at least twice. Allegedly in GTA RP server. A bunch of people locked in the house with nothing to do except distract themselves with drugs, sex, and consuming and cooming. Like, bro, if you invested in any stock instead of jerking off, or you started OnlyFans and recorded yourself playing with yourself, you'd be up a couple hundred bandeezes right now. Number 3, and this is on some real shit though, it's very promising to get this type of legislation. I think that compartmentalizing these websites so that they can only be accessed by adults, even if the dedicated goon squad, what even is English? The goon squad will find their ways to get their fix. It makes it harder. It's like removing an extra spoke from the hub. Removing an extra spoke from the literal hub. Not to sound like a schizo or like crazy or something, but like the amount of sexualized content that is pushed is like spiritual and psychological warfare. And it's not the fact that it exists, because as far as I know, sex work is one of the oldest professions in the game. Like, they was really getting down like that. But the amount that is being pushed into the algorithm is absurd. And let me explain. A recent experiment conducted was I changed my gender in my Instagram settings, and it actually removed majority of sexualized content and recalibrated my explore page. I spent months literally trying to recalibrate my explore page because I was tired of seeing ass so easily, showing disinterest in certain accounts, blocking other accounts, not tapping on certain posts. And it didn't do shit. It always just pushed more different types of different things, trying to find a hook. Eventually, I did start to see more clothed women with just lethal face cards. And I was like, okay. It was a relief. But after switching my gender on Instagram, not in real life, I started seeing more content that I follow, like space, more space, and Google's quantum chip that calculates in extra dimensions. Like, you know, it's getting out of hand when there's men saying, I'm tired of seeing ass so easily. Like, there's no challenge. It's just like you open Instagram and you go to a reel, you scroll twice and it's just ass. And then you say, I'm not interested. And then you scroll twice and it shows you a different type of ass. You know, it's getting out of hand when there's men saying, I'm tired of seeing ass without trying. Just show me a rock that we tricked into calculating the age of the universe. If I wanted to see some ass that bad, I'd just watch a group of random pirates discovering the power of friendship for 1,000 episodes. When you get the populace to think with their second head and not their top head and consider the body as the end-all be-all of connection and importance, it leads us astray, causing us to believe that the lustful thoughts are the correct thoughts, causing us to believe that this is the path to wealth, health, love, and prosperity. Is it love, lust, limerence, or obsession? Knowing this generation, it's probably lust, which is crazy because rarely, if ever, is the pink pocket or the digging stick the best thing a person can offer you. Like, it might be top 5 things I could offer you, but it's not number 1. Over time, consumption of adult content can cause depression, anxiety, and stress. It also changes how your brain processes day-to-day interactions and relationships. While the short term is definitely enjoyable, in the long term it's detrimental, and most consumers kind of go through this metempsychosis or rebirth where they realize, holy shit, the post-nut clarity was for a reason. Because other than the hormone imbalance that it causes, you have this realization after and you snap out of it and you're like, holy shit, I just did that on myself. And then it nukes your hormones after and makes you feel worse about it, especially if it's a compulsive habit. God forbid you have the opportunity to be with someone that you wanted to for years and you were stroking off your beef the night before. Bro, you're fucked. Once upon a time, I was dealing with this older lady who was very in tune and could always sense when something was off with me. And coincidentally, it was always after I had some alone time the night before. One day she really wanted to read my journal and I was like, probably not, but eventually I let her, and I realized while she was reading, I'm gonna throw myself off of a cliff because I was talking about how I diddled my pickle 4 times in one day. This is also a common path to incel behavior because as you are not him, the sacred concave is the solace that you seek. Real life women do nothing for you in your eyes. Real life men do nothing for you in your eyes. Why not give the impression that you are successful in your mind by coping with content that makes you see the opposite gender as objects to fulfill your desires? I actually believe, complete hypothesis with minimal backing but some backing, that consistent release will actually slow down your rate of puberty and pubertus effects. I don't even know if that's a fucking word. And I'm saying this at least in young men. I can't speak for women, obviously, but it spikes prolactin and cortisol, nukes testosterone and DHT, and mentally, metaphysically, your body believes you're clapping cheeks like Genghis Khan, so it doesn't really do anything to increase signals for you to attract a mate. Most times, you don't even get a chance to go through spermatogenesis, which is around 60 days of not releasing. And it does not help that you can see more naked people in one day than most of your ancestors could have seen in multiple lifetimes. And in turn, it makes a lot of people unnecessarily raise their standards. Like, what do you mean you look like Golem and you're telling me that Lupita is not attractive? Like, Mandem will see a 12 out of 10 and then be like, nah, I'm gonna look for the 12.5 too. And I think this is probably the worst part. This website is not free from scandals whatsoever, which is not surprising.
Let's do it.
Both of you are under arrest for prostitution.
It's not prostitution.
You paid her to have sex.
No, I paid her to have sex and we're filming it. So technically it's not prostitution, it's a porno.
Hashtag Cornhub was posting videos of mine are craft players and non-consensual acts, which is different from consensual non-consent, which is a whole different rabbit hole I didn't even want to know about, but found out about just by doing research. The adult content industry and S-work industry built on the backs of a lot of trauma. I found myself in the rabbit hole of these numerous scandals because of the nofap community on Reddit, because while it is very cringy and there's grown-ass men asking other grown-ass men if they should be jerking off, I found it constructive because of the links they had to studies like Your Brain on Corn Syrup and different various lawsuits that are either still in play or had been settled, or many different things, among other text about the experiences with the straight debauchery that is adult content platform. I even started getting emails from the Justice Defense Fund, who is ending impunity for abusers and bringing justice to victims of online sexual crime, trafficking, and abuse, like all types of shit that is just online for people to see in one place. How this sphere provides more availability, more novelty, more stimulation than real interactions. Hashtag. We got another hashtag. This shit is like cocaine in the brain, getting you sane in the membrane, and there's nothing but gain in the refrain and abstain of underage access. Man. God forbid you have the opportunity to get with that one person you've been waiting on for years, and you jerked off the night before. Jesus.